In this video, I'm going to be going over the top 10 mod maps for Ark Ascended that you can play on all consoles. Now, a lot of these aren't going to be finished, and some of them aren't really that close to being done just because there aren't that many mod maps out for Ark Ascended right now, and they're all being worked on, but there are still some pretty good ones. I'm going to be showing them all off in this video, as well as I'll be showing the page so you can install them. The first map on the list is Avra. This is the mod page for it if you want to get it. But it's not really that close to completion, which is why it's at number 10. But it does have some pretty nice landscapes, and overall, there's not really that much there right now currently. But it does have like the redwoods biome. It's got a bunch of like mainly beach areas, and then it's got like a little volcano off to the side. But I noticed the island is a lot smaller than the other maps on this list, which could be a good thing. Maybe you don't want a massive map, you just want a smaller map. But this one isn't complete yet, just to keep that in mind. And then at 9th place we have in Saluna. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. Some of these ones are going to be hard to pronounce. This one does have a lot more complete. But the thing is, a lot of the terrain is kind of flat, and the cliffs are really flat as well. But there is like a lot of like huge cliff areas and stuff like that to go around and explore, as well as this like giant volcano in the center of the map with like a giant like desert or something in the middle, which can be kind of cool to explore around. And it's pretty decent size as well. And then at number 8 we have Niren. This one is also not very complete, but it does have a lot coming to it. Like, it's going to have some boss fights where you can fight Modare and the Manticore, which will be pretty cool, as well as they're adding the Titans at some point as well. But these small parts of the portion of the map that is complete is really well done. My favorite part right here is the red obelisk with the giant like Colosseum looking ruins around it. There's just a lot of cool stuff like that and a lot of cool terrain going around. And I'm excited to see how much more gets added to this map as time goes on. And then at 7th place we have Ark Polus. I actually played this one a decent amount. I did like a modded playthrough through it just on my own time. And it's got some pretty cool spots. Like this spot here is like the main area on the green obelisk. And it's got some pretty interesting terrain. And actually, since I've last played, they updated it and the entire map is explorable. So pretty much all of it, it's not complete, I don't think, but like the entire map is explorable. There's a big desert area as well at the top right, which has got it's got scorched earth creatures like thorny dragons and stuff. This map pretty much has every single DLC creature you could ever want. As you can see right here, there's like 50 gas bags. I think there's a spawning issue, but you can also get tech downs as well. So if you want a custom map where you can get all of the DLC creatures, then this is a good map for you to play on. And at number 6 we have Ice Age. This is basically pretty simple. It's just a giant Arctic map where the entire map is snowy. So if you want an interesting challenge, this one will definitely be a good one. The map is surrounded by massive icebergs. I've always wanted a huge, just all snowy map, kind of something like Scorched Earth, but just in the snow. I always thought that would be really cool, and this map could kind of give you that feeling and that challenge as well. And at number 5 we have Reverence. One thing, if you're going to download this mod, I've had a lot of problems trying to download it, and the only way to get it to work is by uninstalling all your mods and then downloading it. So just make sure to do all that before you try downloading it. But overall, this map is really cool, and it's got some interesting things going for it. It has like this kind of like abandoned futuristic feel. Like there's just like these ruins of like futuristic buildings that you can kind of go around and explore and go inside of, and it gives it a cool feel to the map. And as well as the terrain is just really cool. Like some of these mountains and cliff sides look pretty dope. And at number 4 we have Forar. I think that's how you'd say that. This one by far has the most out there and crazy terrain. But if you like that sort of stuff, then this one would definitely be cool. It's got huge cliffs, tons of floating islands, and just terrain that doesn't even really make any sense. But it does end up making it cool in the long run. As well as I noticed it had crystal wyverns on it as well. I'm not sure what other DLC creatures it has, but crystal wyverns would be a fun one to mess around with. As well as like this like huge cavern that's got like these weird like alien looking yellow balls. There's just a bunch of like weird crazy stuff on this map and tons of stuff to explore around on. And at number 3 we have Tempest Lagoon. This one has a ton to it. I actually checked it out a few months ago, but it wasn't like nearly complete. But now a ton of the map has been filled up. It's not completely full yet, but there's a ton to explore, and I think it's definitely worth playing. It's got a very interesting feel. All the like village vegetation and stuff, it's all like pink and purple, so it definitely gives it a completely different vibe than any other map. But this one also has a few DLC creatures. It has its own wyvern, the Tempest Wyvern, which is basically just a regular variant of another wyvern that like shoots fire, and it's called the Tempest one. As well as it has the DLC creatures, like I said. I noticed the Desmodus from Fjordur is on this map, and I'm not sure what other ones are on here. I'm sure if you play this one you can figure out and then discover what DLC creatures this thing has, but that is a bonus to this map as well as it has its own bosses as well as world bosses. So it has its own boss arena. You can go fight this thing, which is basically just a reskin Karkanos, but still I like the addition that it has its own boss in the map, even if it is a reskin, as well as there's just world bosses. Like I found a dragon that was just flying around that you could fight, as well as the Karkanos thing I was just talking about. I found it in the world as well that you could fight. So if you want to have a chance of world bosses, this is also a fun map. And at number 2, we have Svartalfheim. This one is definitely a great one, and is probably the most well done and completed map of all the maps. So if you want something that's more like finalized and refined, then I would definitely recommend playing this one. Also, if you really like Fjordur from Ark Survival Evolved, then you're going to like this one, because it's very similar to Fjordur, as it's made by the same creator, Nicatus, and it has a very similar feel, using the same assets and stuff like that. But there's just a ton of like Norse mythology themed stuff. I think it's Norse mythology, don't quote me on that one. But yeah, there's tons of stuff to do on here, as well as there's the premium version if you're playing on PC, where you could pay $10 to get a bunch of extra stuff added. I'm not entirely sure what it adds in the premium version, as I haven't played it. But also, the premium version will be coming to console, I believe, in May, according to Nicatus. So if you're watching this in May, then you might be able to buy the premium version of it as well. But overall, there's just a ton to this map. There's tons to explore, and there you also cannot ride flyers, which to some people could be a bad thing, some people it could be a good thing. It basically forces you to explore the map. So if you don't like the idea of not having flyers, then you wouldn't play this map. And at number 1, I have the mod map Amissa. This is my personal favorite, which is why I'm putting it at number 1, but you could switch this with Svartalfheim as well. And I have videos on this map specifically and Svartalfheim. I'll have those linked in the description if you want to see these maps more in depth before you download them. But the Amissa has a lot of cool structures, a lot of cool terrain. It's not even done yet, but it still has so much to explore. And it also has its own custom wyverns that you can find. They're completely custom models, and there's the fire, lightning, and there's the mountain variant as well, and the poison variant. This map has a lot of unique structures I've never seen before. Like, it's got the whole desert area that has giant pyramids, as well as like on the outside of the map it has pyramid like battle arenas as well. There's just so much cool stuff to explore and find on this map, and cool creatures as well. That's going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy or find it helpful, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye.